Hey everyone, so today we're going to take a quick look at our control box. This control box is utilised on both of our twin head fillers, whether it's the twin 3 series or the twin 5 litre, such as we have here. The 4-head has a similar control box with slightly different functionality, so we'll consider that in an alternative video. So just to consider and take a look at every button, we have our off-on function here. This is actually to allow the machine to turn on and off and actually operate. We have our adjust run button here. What this does is allows the main drive to pause at the front because our volume adjustment, which is on the rear of the machine, as we'll have a look later, you can't actually alter or change volume with ease when this is not set to adjust. Run flush, in run, our bottom up fill will move to the base and then run up. In flush mode, it holds the bottom up fill at the top. You can use this to generally flush out any air in the lines as well because the air will travel up through the nozzles a little easier. With our buff delay up, essentially this is once the nozzles come all the way down to the bottom, how long they're going to pause at the bottom before they start to raise up, so the bottom upfill delay moving upwards. And then we have our buff delay down, so this is once our bottles move into the position underneath the nozzles, how long until the nozzles actually move down, so our bottom upfill delay downwards. We also have our gate delay. This is at the conclusion of the cycle, how long after the filling process has occurred before our gates will actually swap to allow our containers to move through. And then we have our reset button. This is used, there's a safety device if anything gets in the way with our bottom up fill as it comes down. For example, if this hits here and it comes down, it'll actually engage a soft emergency, and the only way to override this is by hitting the reset button, otherwise the machine won't activate. And then finally we have our emergency stop, which just cuts air to the majority of the systems in here. It immediately closes our nozzles and swaps our valves, whether it's rotary or spool valves, back so that no product will exit through, because in general an operator will use this if something's going on with the product. So now let's take a quick look and we'll actually see each control in function and in use. So today we're actually going to start on, we'll start at the top here, we'll go off on. So if I flick this to, or have it on off right now, I have my 2 whiskers, which need to be triggered for us to use the machine. Right now this container is triggering this whisker and my upstream container is triggering the other whisker, but the machine's not operating. The reason being it's currently set to off, so I just click my reset to ensure that's not engaged. I'm going to flick this to on. Now we can actually see the machine cycling here. So whenever this is, if the machine's not operating or you need to pause or whatever, you can just flick it to off. The machine will finish the cycle. So the moment that it started, it will finish the cycle. So I can flick this to on right here. But the moment that we come off this top position, even if I flick it to off, we're going to continue to operate. So you'll naturally have this set to on whenever you're using the machine in a normal thing. And finish the cycle in a non-emergency manner, you'll just flick to off. In terms of our run flush function, so if I flick this to flush, what's going to happen is our nozzles are actually going to remain at the top position here, and the machine will cycle as normal. So I'll flick this to on now, and it's a little difficult to see, but the machine's actually cycling right now. So what that means is I can have a bucket here or something if I want to flush any of the air out of the system before I'm running. Just makes it ease of life or easy use for the machine. So then the other control we have here is our adjust run. So as I mentioned, what that's going to do is I'll have the main drive bar at the back of the machine actually pause at the front. This is going to allow us to make adjustments to the volume on the machine with ease. So if I click this to adjust, we're actually going to get that main drive bar just to pause at the back. And essentially then that will allow us to do a volume adjustment quite easily. So just going to flick this back to off, run, and then run. So we're in a more or less normal cycle, but we're just going to pause there.